In the name of God, the most merciful, the most compassionate. Peace and blessings be upon God's most honorable and esteemed prophets, Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. God said in the Quran, in chapter 21, verse 107, "We have sent thee not, O Muhammad, except as a mercy to all of the worlds." Prophet Muhammad was the son of Abdullah, was born in the city of Mecca in Arabia on a Friday, the 17th day of lunar month of Rabi'ul Awwal in the year 570 CE, into a noble family whose fathers and ancestors were amongst the chiefs of the tribe of Quraysh and the Bani Hashim clan. His prophetic mission began in the year 610 CE on the 27th day of the month of Rajab, when he first received the divine revelation. It is believed that the Prophet Muhammad was killed by poisoning on the 28th day of the month of Safar in the 11th year of the Hijrah, 630 CE. His father Abdullah died while Muhammad was still in his mother's womb. After Abdullah's death, Muhammad's grandfather Abdul Muttalib became his guardian. Abdul Muttalib always respected and honored treaties and adopted the finest of morals. He loved the poor and helped the pilgrims. He would feed people in times of famine and would restrain wrongdoers. Muhammad's mother was Amina, daughter of Wahab. When Muhammad was born, his mother said, "As soon as I put my child on the ground, he leaned with his hands on the ground, raised his head to the skies and looked at the horizons. Then a voice called out to me saying, 'The best of mankind has been born, so name him Muhammad.'" Muhammad was not yet 7 years old when his mother died. After his mother's death, his grandfather Abdul Muttalib assumed guardianship of him. Because of his knowledge of the status of the child and his faith in him, he treated Muhammad with more care and attention than his own other children. Muhammad was 8 when his grandfather died, and he was taken into the care of his uncle Abu Talib. Abu Talib, chief of the Bani Hashim clan, became the guardian of Muhammad from his 8th year. Abu Talib went on to protect and serve the Messenger of Allah, defending him and honoring him throughout the testing times of his prophethood until the last breath of his life. Muhammad grew up to become a fine young man. He became known for his excellent manners, and because of the honesty in his conduct and dealings, he was referred to as As-Sadiq, the truthful one, and Al-Amin, the trustworthy one. When the Messenger of Allah reached the age of 12, he journeyed with his uncle Abu Talib as far as Syria. There he was seen by a Christian monk named Georges, who recognized him by his description. He took his hand and said, "This is the chief of the worlds. God will send him as a mercy to the worlds." Abu Talib said, "How do you know this?" He said, "We find mention of him in our books," and asked Abu Talib to take him back, fearing for his safety. As an adult, Muhammad worked as a trader between the cities of Mecca and Damascus and earned a great reputation in the process. Having heard of the reputation of Muhammad, Lady Khadija, one of the noblest of the Quraysh, on one occasion commissioned him to take charge of some of her trading business between the two cities. Lady Khadija sent one of her servants, Maysara, along with him to keep an eye on him and report back to her. Having seen his performance in the business and the returns he had produced, as well as his honesty, Lady Khadija put Muhammad in charge of her business. Although she had many proposals of marriage from various dignitaries of the Quraysh, Lady Khadija declined them all. It is reported that it was Lady Khadija who herself indirectly and discreetly made the marriage proposal to Muhammad. They married in the year 595 CE. Lady Khadija gave birth to 3 children. The male children, who were all born in Mecca, were Al-Qasim and Abdullah. The boys all died young during the lifetime of the Prophet. His only daughter was Fatima, who married Imam Ali, son of Abu Talib, and bore him 2 Imams, Hassan and Hussein. She also bore him Zainab and Kulthum, and another son who was named Muhsin by the Prophet before his birth. Fatima was the only one of the siblings to survive the Messenger of Allah. The Prophet Muhammad used to spend much time in prayer and worship of the one God. This he used to do in a cave known as Hira in the An-Nur mountain near the city of Mecca. In the year 610 CE, at the age of 40, Muhammad received the first of the divine revelations when he was engaged in devotion and prayer inside the cave of Hira. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, read in the name of thy Lord who created man from a clot. Read, and thy Lord is the most noble, who taught by the pen, taught man what he knew not. Prophet Muhammad conveyed the news and the message to Ali and Lady Khadija. Ali and Lady Khadija both embraced the new revelation instantly and without any hesitation. Khadija was thus the first woman to believe in the Messenger of Allah and the first woman to pray with him. She supported him wholeheartedly and spent all her wealth in the way of the new religion. She was the first woman that the Prophet married, and he married no other during her lifetime and was immensely loyal to the Prophet. Prophet Muhammad begins to invite individuals to the new revelation, but in secret. There were very few supporters and believers, and this low-key approach continued for 3 years. Afterwards, on instruction from the Almighty, the Prophet's invitation to Islam started to become more and more public. The followers of the new religion started to grow, and so does the concern of the Quraysh towards them. The elders of Quraysh sent Abu Talib, the trusted uncle of the Prophet, to him, asking him to stop his call for this new religion, and in return they would give him whatever he would want. If you want wealth, they said, we will give you as much as you want. If you want women, we will marry you to the most beautiful woman of Arabia. And if you want position and status, we will make you the owner king over us. When Abu Talib conveyed the message of the elders of the Quraysh to his nephew, the Prophet, the Messenger of Allah replied in the following terms: I swear by the Almighty that if they put the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left, on condition that I detest from this affair, I would not leave it until God causes it to prevail or I die in the process. The Messenger of Allah began to weep and rose and made to leave. But Abu Talib called him and said, "Come back, my nephew. Say what you like, my nephew, for by Allah, I will never hand you over to them ever." The Quraysh realized that it is dealing with a true and determined prophet. From then on, open hostility towards this new religion, its prophet, and its followers started to increase.